Hey guys, what's up? Welcome back to another video. Today I want to talk about old photography. I want to jump in and look at some of my old photographs, maybe hoping to inspire you if you're still learning, if you feel like your stuff is not up to par to the professional photographers that you follow. I just want to confirm that we all start somewhere, and a lot of this I actually haven't looked at in a really long time. Somebody in a forum that I'm in asked about comparing your first shoot to your most recent shoot, and I thought it was kind of a cool topic, so I want to dig around and find some of my old stuff and like react to it a little bit. I know it's out there and I know it's bad, but yeah, I wanted to look it up on camera and get kind of my reaction, maybe like a little constructive criticism on my old photos. So let's check it out. This album on my Facebook, it's my personal Facebook page, which I'm sorry, I don't accept friend requests unless I know you in real life. Most of the photos that I have from when I was starting photography are of my daughter. That's just how it is. That's how a lot of photographers start. So we are going to dig back in, and let me just tell you, these first ones I was obsessed with. I love them so much. We lived in Texas, and Texas, if you have been there or you live there, you know that it is amazing for bluebonnets, and bluebonnet season is a season that people wait for. Bluebonnet season is the equivalent to fall on the East Coast. People wait for it all year. People love it. Everybody takes pictures in the bluebonnets. And there was a big giant bluebonnet field right across from our house, so these photos are from that. And I just remember really loving these photos. Like, I thought they were amazing. Yeah, so this first one is, I don't think she's in focus, if I'm being honest. I don't think that, I think the color is good, like, but, so I think I took these with a Nikon L120, so not a good camera by any means. I don't even think anybody would actually even like vlog with that kind of camera anymore, but that was my first camera that I really like thought would be a good idea for photography. I was highly disappointed when the lenses didn't come off, but I didn't do any research. I was like, hey, this camera looks cool. Here we go. So this photo was taken with that. I mean, I wish she was looking at me, but I've definitely seen better cell phone photos. Like, I take better cell phone pictures now than that, so not really a lot to say about those. But see, for these I have mom goggles because I'm like, they're not that bad. They're memories. They built houses over where that field was now, so they're memories. Those from the bluebonnets were taken March 2012, so 8 years ago. I have a folder called New Stuff. This is from when I got that camera, the L120, and I was like, oh my gosh, I love this so much. I really always made it a thing to take a lot of pictures of my daughter because my husband was deployed, and that was really the only time he'd get to see her. So I did go out of my way to take a lot of pictures of her, and then I realized I kind of liked it and I got a little more artistic. There is this one, which obviously she's just laying down and looking at me. My sheets were like a wine color red, I think, at the time. So I ripped the sheets off the bed because I wanted a white backdrop, and I laid her on the bed, and her little face is so cute, but the picture is super weirdly desaturated, and you can tell she's laying on a mattress with no sheets on it. I don't know. But again, mom goggles. I think she's adorable, and it's a bad picture, but I still love it. Again, it's a memory. I remember taking that photo. These were taken September 26, 2011, so we even went back a year from those first ones. So we are back into 2011. We are back 9 years ago. Great stuff. My husband got me my first DSLR when he was stationed in Germany, and we went to go visit him. So let me see what I can find from that. It was a Canon Rebel T3i, I believe, and I love that camera. I felt so freaking fancy with that camera. going from like little point and shoots to that. But yeah, so I have a whole album here of photos. I would take it with me everywhere. Like we'd go to a picnic or like a family day and I would take it. We'd go walk around town and I would take it. Like I lugged this thing around everywhere. So there's tons of pictures, but I'm going to pull up some that I know I was like absolutely like disgustingly proud of. Okay, so this one. Not the best angle here. Clearly my green is very oversaturated in this bad boy. I'm thinking I added, like if you look towards like her feet, the grass is really sharp. I think I added like some kind of radial blur to this while I was shooting it. This is April 26, 2013. Now I had like a big boy camera. Yeah, but I clearly did not know how to use it because it looks like I did some kind of, like the tips of her fingers are out of focus and her shoe, part of it's out of focus, part of it's in focus. Yeah, so that was clearly more of an editing thing. Like she was super interested in this little crank for some reason, but yeah. Okay, let's go to, there's one I'm thinking of. Oh, this one. Okay, so this one was done November 2011. This was my very first couples shoot. And clearly I didn't know what I was doing. It was super bright outside. Like I want to say that we definitely tried to do later in the afternoon, but I want to say this was like around 3. Clearly I didn't know anything about depth of field or anything. This was also with that Nikon L120. I did some after blur in not even Photoshop, whatever the editing program was that came with the camera. The coloring is weird. They look very gray. Yeah, so very, very first couple shoot is for my friend and her husband. Very first couple shoot. Now I pride myself on my couple shoots and they were my favorite things, but yeah, this is a very first, 2011, very, very first. I think she paid me like $20. I'm not really sure. Or I didn't even have her pay me. I think I told her like, oh my God, if you love them and people ask about them, tell them I took them and tell them it's like $20. Like, and nobody came looking. Nobody came knocking even for $20. Okay, let's move into the future a little bit more and find something newer. I'm gonna go like way back in my Facebook, my business page on Facebook, and see what we can find. See what I haven't removed. I haven't honestly dug through it in a while to remove anything, but let's see. Okay, so this new Facebook update, like this new, however they change things, I can't find anything. Like I can't find my page. Okay, I think I found it. That was entirely too hard to do. We don't want albums. We really just want to scroll through to the very end of time. I'm actually curious now to see what at least what I haven't deleted, what the oldest picture that I have on here is. Okay, it's not my first photo on Facebook, but it's one of my first photos that I can remember like being super proud of. Like, I need to put this on the internet. Everybody needs to see this photo. And it's just some hay bales in Texas. Like, it's nothing surprising. I'm looking at it now and it's really nothing magnificent. I remember playing with like an HDR, HDR, see, I don't even know what it's called because I don't use it anymore. An HDR filter in the photo editor that I was using, and it made everything super crisp and super sharp, and I way overdid it. Clearly I loved saturation also. But yeah, I used to just drive around in the country and take pictures of things because, you know, practice makes perfect. I think I would definitely still stop and take a picture of a hay bale field, but it would be a little bit better. Composition is a little strange. I don't know why this one big giant hay bale is all the way to the left. There's a lot of sky. Like the sky with the clouds is cool, but I'm not really sure why there's so much sky. Like I needed 18 feet above the clouds. Also, it's, yeah. And I used to have this like weird little watermark down here at the bottom. I felt like special that I watermarked my photo. It definitely made me feel more legit. And then, you know, the year, because when you copyright something, there's a year involved. Like in a book, copyright whenever you wrote it. So I don't even know. But yeah, I used to have the year really only in 2013. All of the photos that have the year are 2013 apparently. Yeah, perfect. So my camera died. I'm not really sure exactly where I cut off. I did a lot of experimental photos. I just thought it was cool. Like I'd see that somebody else did something. So I'd like see that somebody else took a picture on a bridge, long exposure with all of the cars zooming past and their lights making like this cool streaks. And I'm like, I want to do that too. I tried long exposure on stars, but I tried it in my backyard. So everything was so bright because there's too many street lights everywhere. I tried it. If you name it, I tried it in photography, and I was not successful at everything. Speaking of trying things, at one point I also tried newborn photography. If you know me at all, you know that I do not do newborn photography. I hate newborn photography. Yes, hate is a very strong word, but I despise newborn photography. I can't do it. I love babies. I will snuggle your baby all day long, but I will not take pictures of it because I don't like it. I don't like the props. I don't like the time that it takes. Like we're talking like 4 or 5 hours just kind of sitting around waiting for baby to be ready. Like I don't have patience like that. So, and I wasn't good at it. In all honesty, I wasn't good at it. And I can kind of try something, and then if I'm not good at it, like I give up pretty quickly, and I just don't, it makes me not want to do something. Also like buying all the stuff for newborn photography, and like, especially if you don't have a studio, and like dragging it around everywhere with you when you go shoot things, it's not fun. Okay, so this is my very first newborn photo. I love her little side rolls. She is curled up in a basket. That is as good as I could get. So this is a friend of mine. Like I don't have anything to say about this photo. So this is a friend of mine's baby. It is from September 2013. I'm sure she still loves these photos. She had a bunch of them printed in her house. At the time, I loved the photos, but I'm not a newborn photographer. This is not a good newborn photo. And to be, you can't really tell, but I didn't have like a backdrop stand or anything, so I actually have baby's mom holding this like sheet of wood printed paper in the back so that there wouldn't be like wall behind her. So she's holding this roll of backdrop. I know, I wasn't ready for this at all. I bought some fabric, made a headband. She's laying in a basket, like that's about all I had. And that's when I realized that I didn't really like newborn photography. I'm sure any newborn photographers out there can tell me that it is a bad newborn photo. Sure, it's cute, sure the mom loves it, but it's not a good, that's all I can say about it. It's really not a good newborn photo. Like half her face is hiding, her hand is all tucked away, and it's just, yeah, it's not good. I don't do newborn photography. Moving right along. I did this thing once I got Photoshop, which I did. I got Photoshop like late 2013. That I decided that I needed to Photoshop everything. I needed to learn everything in Photoshop, and I needed to be very fluent and be able to do all kinds of fun things. So I saw, I think it was like Instagram or Facebook somewhere, I saw that there was this artist that was making people miniature. He was photoshopping these people to make them look tiny in this like big world scenario. So I was like, I'm learning Photoshop, I can do that too. So I took this photo of a mushroom growing in my yard, and then I put my daughter on top of it. But I think she was standing on like a log, and then she jumped off, and that's where I got her from. And then I put her on the mushroom. Like the depth of field is not right. Her feet are a little mucky there. I remember super loving this, thinking it is the most adorable thing. It was my profile picture for a really long time. Yeah, now that I am very fluent in Photoshop and photography in general, I look at this and I'm like, whoa. But at the time, this was like epic. I could not believe that I mastered this. Like, I could not believe that I took this photo. And like, I took 2 photos and put them together, and I made my little girl look like a little tiny Thumbelina on a mushroom in the backyard. It's fine. I don't do that stuff anymore. I really don't mess around too much and do like Photoshop-y things in Photoshop. I just use it for regular editing. Okay, so the last photo that I want to talk about is dated 2016. It's June 2016. So the reason why this is the last one I want to talk about is because I feel like this is really where like I started to be really like genuinely happy with my work. Like I started to get very busy with business. I felt really good about my editing. It's definitely a different style than I edit now. You kind of are always going to be developing and changing your style. But yeah, I really loved this photo. It's 2 friends of mine. Their wedding pictures were like hot garbage, so they wanted to redo their wedding photo, so we did that. Yeah, I mean, I still love this photo. It's, like I said, it's definitely different than I edit now. But like, to me, even right now looking at this, like, I love this photo. Like, I have no problem with it, and that's kind of why I wanted to stop here. If you are feeling down on yourself, like you're just not growing, I just showed you pictures from way back in 2011. I feel like we went deep here with the photos. But we dug really deep to find some of those photos. Just know that like it takes time. Like 2011 is when I started to get an interest and like take photos with intention for it being like artistic or like in a photography sense instead of just like cell phone snapshots. So 2011, it is now 2020. So we are looking at 9 years of learning and developing. Like I said, that last photo about 2016. So at that point it had been 5 years. So 5 years of learning and growing and just continuing and pushing on until like that's when I started to get happy with my work, when I started to be proud. Keep going, keep learning, keep growing. If you're new, if you feel like I've been doing this a year and it's just not working out, like please, like it takes a really long time for some people. 2014 I think was my very first paid shoot, the end of 2014. So, and I started in 2011. It's definitely a process. Not a lot of people just roll out of bed and are good at this. It takes growth. It takes lots and lots and lots of learning. Don't beat yourself up that you're not feeling that you are where you want to be. Pull up some old photos. Like, having looked at those old photos, like it makes me even more proud of like how far I've come and where I'm at in my photography journey. Please go ahead and give this video a thumbs up if you liked it, and don't forget to subscribe so that you can see all of my future videos. That is all I have for today. Bye!